This is Christine Brown, and while I have to listen to this podcast as my motherly duty, you have the choice not to. My sons sometimes say some naughty things when they're trying to be funny, but really, they're just being stupid. Do you still want to listen? Go right ahead. I am not your mother.
Welcome back to the Patriots Dynasty Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Brown. We have a special edition this week. We're taking a little quick break from the usual game recaps. We were in 2005, but we thought we would talk to somebody who was there in 2005 and was playing in these games. So I'm not talking about Greg Brown. He's decided to skip this. But I do have Steve Brown with me and Tim the Intern. But enough about them. Let's introduce you to our special guests. Tonight we have with us Tyrone Poole, two-time Super Bowl champion, former Patriots, former lots of teams actually, and kind of all-around good human. Tyrone Poole, thanks for joining us, Tyrone.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Steve, Kim. Thank you, guys, and all of the Patriots fans that watch the show. It's an honor. It's an honor. Thank you, guys, for giving me the opportunity.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you don't have to lie to us, Tyrone. It's not really an honor.
Oh, no. Anytime, that's just who I am. It's always an honor, really, to be able to talk to the fans or whomever may listen to the show. Because every time, it's like a smile, or as they would say, you never get an opportunity to make another first impression. So, people are always going to remember the moments of how you made them feel. So, it's always an honor to be able to share and reminisce, present and past information. So, yeah, it is an honor.
Right, cool. I love that. I kind of, speaking of reminiscing, kind of want to, obviously, we're the Patriots Dynasty Podcast, so we'll talk about the past, but I kind of want to just maybe even start a little bit before that and kind of want to know, like, what got you into football? What made you passionate about playing football, like, as a career? How did that start?
Yeah, well, what got me into football? I think, honestly, all males, and you have females playing sports as well. Sometimes they come up in households where, it's an athletic family. But I came up as an only child, and my only competition was my environment. But in the neighborhood, we would just play sandlot football. Wherever there was grass, we would play. In the streets. The only thing about playing in the streets is when a car comes down the road, we have to stop the game. Everybody go to their sides, like an ox, and you go to your side, that the car passed by, and then we start back playing. But I think every young male grows up watching sports on television. And from that moment of seeing sports on television, which I ran track, I played football as well. Probably could have played baseball, but football was one of those sports where we played it almost every day in the neighborhood. So not only seeing it on television, which back in the day when I came up, you would only see the Dallas Cowboys, television. So you either loved the Cowboys or you hated the Cowboys. But I'm from Georgia. LaGrange, Georgia. So for those who don't know, LaGrange is about an hour and 15 minutes southwest of Atlanta. So I grew up watching the Atlanta Falcons too, and all that the red uniform, But so that's how it kind of started. Just growing up watching it on television and going outside playing it with arguably some of the greatest people in my neighborhood, guys that were faster than me. So if anybody thought I was fast or strong or quick, wow, you should have laid eyes on some of the guys who used to beat me in running.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what Because I mean, we have a baby brother who kind of grew up playing with us too, but we were kind of the same sort of thing. He was always playing with the faster, bigger kids, and he is the only one in the family that actually went on to play sports in college. So I feel like there's something to that of being able to like kind of spend all that time playing with people that make you up your game constantly, and then you get to the people that are your same age or whatever it is, and you've kind of got this advantage over them.
Yeah.
I don't know, Andy. We weren't very fast or strong or big. Let's be real.
I wasn't talking about us. I'm talking about our friends that we play with.
You guys know the funny thing, Andrew, you mentioned playing with guys that are older. And that is how I believe I kind of separated myself from my other peers. Because when you play with older kids, they have the advantage not only from maturity, but just the ability to just physically throw you around, and basically that's what they did. We play with the older kids, and they grab you and throw you around, and it made me tougher. So
don't take it easy.
Guys my age, it's like me and amongst boys, because I was being trained by the older kids in the neighborhood to be able to dominate the kids the same age.
Yeah, that's why I take credit for Greg's athletic accomplishments.
You made him the man that he is now.
Do you really want that on your record, Andy? That's what you're going. That's what you're going down for.
So Tyrone, as far as the other sports go, playing baseball, what position were you when you played baseball?
Well, again, I didn't play organized.
Okay, nothing organized.
Yes, but when we did select teams, because you always have like the two best athletes, really, right? You don't want to put them on the same team, all right?
Right.
So they would actually have to pick teams, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I was one of those guys. Okay, Tyrone, you pick a team, and such and such, you pick a team. But when I did play, I love pitching. But
all right.
but I would be like on first base, or either a shortstop. So it was either pitching, first base, or either shortstop.
All right.
Do you have a like a sports hero growing up that you looked up to?
Oh yeah, again, like I said, I grew up watching the Dallas Cowboys and Tony Dorsett. And I think actually Ty Law and the Dorsett family, I think they're kind of like got some family relationship going on there. History of their family. So Tony Dorsett, Dallas Cowboy number 33. So I used to take a T-shirt, and whenever we would go out and play, I would take a crayon or a marker, and I would put 33 on the front and 33 on the back and write Dorsett. And so that was the guy that I tried to say I was Tony Dorsett.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So then how did you end up with number 38 in the pros? Just because 33 wasn't available, or was there another reason for 38?
Yeah, there's a little bit of history with that as well. When I played in high school, I was 21. And I walked on. I actually quit football in high school.
Oh.
Football in high school, still made it to the pros. So that, tell everybody that you can mess up in life, and you still, if you know where you're going, you still can make it to your destination. Okay,
that's
you can alternate route, but you still can make it. But 21 was my number in high school, and then when I got to college, I walked on at Fort Valley State, HBCU, Division II, and they gave me the number 29. And then when I went to the Senior Bowl, somebody else had 29, and they gave me 28. All right. So now I have 28. So if you look at all my Senior Bowl cards, it has jersey number 28. So when the Panthers drafted me, and I never really talked to the Panthers, never talked to them during the combine, never talked to them, period. All of a sudden, I know that they're drafting me. So this draft coming up, some players don't get chosen, they never talk to the team.
That's crazy.
But when they drafted me, somebody else had 28. Okay, somebody else had 28, so they ended up giving me 38. So that's how I came about the number 38.
So,
and when you played for the Patriots, did that ever come up that you got picked one pick before Ty Law? Did you ever bring that up to him?
No. Actually, Ty and I go back into the, all the way back to the combines, and we got our stories there. And I'll tell you this, sometimes I think you can get drafted into a system that really doesn't fit your skills, and there's going to be a lot of players that's going to happen to them as well. Yeah. Teams are going to draft them because they are the best possible athlete, but do they fit that system? And coming out of Fort Valley, we played nothing but man-to-man. Man-to-man. That's how we played, man-to-man coverage. I didn't know anything about zone. I'm like, we only play zone when we had the game won, and it's about 3 minutes left in the game. We sit back in a cover 3. But other than that, it was like, you go get him, you go get him. Yeah. So I was great at man-to-man coverage. And when I got to New England, that was probably let me go back. Before I got to New England, with the Denver Broncos, Ray Rose. I don't know if you guys remember Ray Rose, but Ray Rose had a stint as a coach with the 49ers back in the Bill Walsh days, and then he was a coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and then he was the defensive coordinator, my defensive coordinator out with the Broncos. And Ray Bob, as they call him, Ray Bob, and he got a lot of stories, man. I love Ray Rose. He's a great player's coach because he played the game as well. So Ray was all about running man to man. So his system just fit me like hand in glove, man. But my previous teams, nothing against, none of those teams, nothing against the Panthers. I love my years in the Panthers. Love my years with the Colts. But they were more the fire zone, Pittsburgh Steelers. So really, you're not truly playing man to man. But then when I got to New England, from Denver, we all man to man, and then we get to New England. Bill, allowed me and Ty to play man to man. Previously, Ty would go from one side to the other, but Bill felt like, hey, when I got there in 2003, that hey, we both can stay on our respective sides, and whoever we get, that's who we get. So that was fun. But Ty and I go back to the combines. Yeah, the combines. But again, I'll say this, I'll let you guys ask your next question. Coming from an HBCU, it was a whole lot of pressure, man, a whole lot of pressure. Yeah. And when I say pressure, it was more pressure mentally. Nothing physically. I'm like, I'm covering arguably one of the best receivers twice a year, Jerry Rice, you got to get your track shoes on when you cover that. So it wasn't the physical play that was tough. It was the mental. The playbook in college was like man to man. It was like, that thick. And then you get to the pros and it's like that thick. And, one movement or one shift by one person or running back motioning out to the right or to the left, or a tight end getting up, moving over, or a receiver, forming twins. It changes the whole complexity of the defense. And you could be on the strong side, that motion. Now you're on the weak side, which now you got to go to a whole different technique. So that was kind of like my struggle, my first and second year, third year. And really, I didn't catch on to the game until maybe my 5th year. But by then, the Panthers had given up on me. And, hey, this kid is not going to, he's not going to get it, man. It didn't have nothing to do with my physical skills. Right. It was the mental. So that's why I always try to tell these young kids from HBCUs that, you got to study the game. The game is so complex. Now, do they have the physical skills to play it? Yes. But it's the mental that sometimes doesn't give, those athletes that opportunity. because you're not getting reps anyways. When you go into a camp, you're probably going to be a low draft pick. So low draft picks don't get a lot of reps doing mini camps. So how you going to learn? You know. But anyways, back to the point. But yeah, coming from HBCU to see Carolina jump up, so many spots. I'm like, at that time I didn't know, what type of skills I had, but evidently they did. And I played my best ball, one of my best seasons, when I got to New England. And Bill, again, same thing Ray Rose did. He said, we're going to play man to man. Yeah, we drop off in cover 2, every once in a while. But really, man to man, that's how we played in cover in 2003. We called it Dog 1. So let Willie McGinnis and Mike Vrabel and let them guys go from the side and, put pressure on the quarterback and, we cover them up on the outside. So it was fun.
So did Belichick teach it any different than other coaches?
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Every coach has their own, should I say, their own identity. And I played for some great coaches. Dom Capers. I think Dom Capers, the coach of Carolina, he was a true your responsibility. Do your job, so to speak. The way they say in New England, do your job. Well, Dom Capers with that Blitzburg defense or the zone blitz defense, it was predicated on every person being in their gap and doing what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to be in the A gap, stay in the A gap. You're in the B gap, stay in the B gap, C gap. Don't do somebody else's job. That's how that zone blitz is basically it maximizes itself. So Dom was more of a X's and O's guy. When I played for Mike Shanahan, Denver Broncos, he was more of a player's coach, meaning he'll treat you like a man. He treated everybody like men. And he gave some rules. And as long as you stay within those rules, it was fun. So I always say that Mike Shanahan added years. He'll add years to your career, Where there's some coaches, they just straight take years away from your career. When it comes to Belichick was probably one of the greatest coaches that I've come across that was able to make adjustments. I'm like, I thought he was phenomenal at making adjustments. I'm like, we would be on the sideline, and if something is not working, that's why I always tell people now when we're watching any of the Patriots games, I say, Bill over there talking to him.
Yeah.
Bill talking to him. Whatever they did previously, they're about to change it. So, but yeah, he's a great adjustment maker of the game. So, I played for some pretty good coaches, learned something from all of them.
Do you have any good Belichick stories from your time there?
Wow. Again, I guess, I'm going to clear the air on this. A lot of people think that Belichick is that guy who, like, does he ever smile? Does he ever, the times that I was in New England, I liked it. I enjoyed it. But he was the type of guy that he had his funny moments. I thought he was a good motivator as well. He would come in on Wednesday's practice, which is usually the first actual official practice preparation for Sunday's game. And he would always have his film. And these are the people that we need to stop. This guy, he would always have his stories about each guy that we need to stop, And but there's one particular game we're playing against the Colts in the actually it might have been it's the 2005. It'll be the 2005 AFC Championship game. The 2003 season rolls into the 2004, and then 2004 season rolls into the 2005, even though it's a 2004 season. It's funny how that thing works. But either way, we're playing the Colts. And I always tell people Belichick is always in the game. And Peyton tries to throw a corner route to Marvin Harrison on the left side of the defense. And Rodney Harrison and Ty Law are on that side. So the ball gets picked off, and a lot of people probably see this video. He picks the ball off. Ty Law picks the ball off, keeps his balance. And Rodney hits Marvin Harrison, and he goes out of bounds right beside Belichick. And you don't really see it, from the cameras that they show you on television. You actually got to see it from the coach's cam, which shows you everything.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing how this guy was into the game even at that moment. And because Marvin had gone out of bounds on our sideline, Marvin is the only one in my eyes that could catch or try to make a play on time. So, Belichick, being the smart coach he is, creates a little bit of I call it just being in repositioning himself, so that Marvin had to actually run through him to get there. And then another situation that just shows how Belichick is so smart, and he's always into the game. We're playing the Denver Broncos in 2003, and we're down, I think.
The intentional safety game, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a smart move because he felt that's just how good our defense was. And I tell people, yes, Tom is one of the best quarterbacks I ever played with. I played with Peyton Manning his rookie year. I got stories about Peyton. Got stories about Tom, but in 2003, I felt like our defense was the strongest, point of that season. But in that Denver Bronco game, Bill elected to go for the safety, which gave the Broncos more points, but actually bought us more yards so we could do a free kick from the 20. Because if he had not given the safety or told the snapper to snap the ball through the uprights, then our punter would have been punting from the back of the end zone, which Broncos probably would have got the ball around the 50, and then boom, a couple of plays here and there, they kick a field goal or run the clock out. So we get the free kick at the 20. Delta O'Neal basically
muffed it.
Underestimates the ball, and it hits and start rolling. And our defense went out there and went 3 and out. And actually, they didn't move the ball at all. The Broncos didn't move the ball at all on those 3 downs. They end up punting the ball. We get the ball back on the 50, and then we go down and score a touchdown and win the game. So I'm like, that was good on the field adjustment and knowing what's going on to put your team in a situation to win. So, a lot of great stories.
The real question, though, is how's he going to feel about you showing up to this podcast a little bit late?
They say it's better late than never, right?
Yes, sir.
The best act, if you look at all kinds of concerts, they never bring the true act on until.
Oh, Steve.
Posed him. Way to go.
You.
So, Tyrone, so we just reviewed week 2 of 2005, and in preparation for that, I found some interesting, an interesting article in the Boston Globe.
Well, let's tell them that it was against the Panthers. It was the Super Bowl rematch from
right
season.
So hold on, So I found a quote from him that he was saying in preparation to that week 2 game. He said about you. He said that you had spit on him in the Super Bowl after the first drive, and he said about you. He said, then he started calling me names. He's a Christian, and he wasn't cursing at me, but he was just calling me some names that in my book was still cussing. So I said, look here, dog, you're going to shut up, and I'm going to make you shut up. I was hot. I was very hot. Do you ever hear anything about him saying that about you?
You know what? People will say, what they say. At the end of the day, what I believe is that we are all one fraternity. We're football players, just like you guys. You guys are one fraternity. You guys are reporters. So your job is to create stories. Our job is, when we're on that field, we're brothers. We're playing against one another. We get in heated situations. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, would we help each other in a tough situation or a situation where, you know what, on the field we were gladiators, but off the field, you know what? Hey, how can I help you, my brother? That's what I see, and that's what I hear. So at the end of the day, you guys are the one that pepper, you know, you kind of pepper and, you know, you want to get stories. It's like you guys are the ones that want to raise the dead. And, but I understand that's what you do and that's what you guys are called to do. But it's just like anything, you know, hey, things happen, heat of the moment, words are said, or in an article, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you look at everybody's heart and everybody's mindset, then yes, you know what? We all love each other. So that's why I say we're all one big fraternity. And when you get on the field, I don't care if it's against your brother. You know, you're going to be competitive. You're going to say things.
Especially against your brother.
So at the end of the day, you know, hey, it's war. It's war. And but when things are over, you know, it's all love. It's all love. So but like I said, I'm pretty sure, you know, there's nothing but love. I'm pretty sure if Steve saw me on the side of the road and I said, hey, flagged him down. Yeah, you know what? He'll help out. Or if I saw him in a situation, I think we would sit and we would help each other out. So it's only the media that wants to create chaos, because we get it. We get it 100%. That's why you guys never really get true answers out of us, because you guys are not really digging for the truth. What you're doing is you're trying to promote, and you're actually, we all know that negativity sells papers. And if you got negative, you know, that's what happens. But I like the way you guys try to pull that in.
We just wanted to. We have your back in this 100%. Just so you know.
I put it to you like this: there is no story. There is no.
Okay.
Story.
All right.
And I don't know if I like to be lumped in with media here. Like,
I know, yeah.
Really just mom who listens to us.
You are media.
Shout out, mom.
Rendition.
Yeah, you are media. Let's be honest. I'm media as well. I'm media as well. You know, I do podcast shows too. So you know, I can easily turn around and say, hey, you know what? There's this guy Steve on this Patriots podcast. You know, that guy is no good, man.
You wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, get in line, Tyrone.
He doesn't look like he brushed his hair, and he doesn't look like he may have some. So I'm in the media too. But the point is, what we try to do in the media is, you know, just to understand and let the fans help the fans understand.
Yeah.
You know, just like with Ray Lewis, you know, people still try to bring stuff up about Ray.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
But you know, people don't talk about the good things, or what they try to do, just like what, you know, anybody, I'm not going to point you guys out, but anybody, you know, they try to lull you to sleep, get you in. And normally, to be honest with you, I always try to ask people, okay, when you do an interview, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Yeah. Because you never want to be, you know, hit with something from left field. And that's just called, you know, respect. And so that's how you get people to come back. And that's how you get people to say, tell other players, you know what, man, don't even mess around with that. But at the end of the day, like I said, no matter anybody, you, and Andy, Andrew, Kim, you know, Steve, that's something in your past that, you know, the reason why nobody know about it, because don't nobody know who you are, you know. But if somebody were to dig into your past, and they'll find out, maybe Steve, maybe you dated somebody who was underage, you know, but
I poop with the door open all the time.
Know about Steve, but
big,
like I said,
big door open pooper.
Yeah. I just want to clarify. I would have started out with that. Had I known that was something that you wanted, Tyrone, but I just found it interesting when we were leading up to that.
Yeah,
wasn't trying to catch you off guard. Wasn't trying to catch you off guard with that or anything.
Were games against your former teams different in any way? Like, would you gear up a little bit more for them, or was it just another game?
Again, I think people actually, you always want to show up and you want to show out. And if you have a brother I think you want to always show your brother that you're better than your brother. Or again, if you've been in a past relationship and say your ex, she shows up with a guy who looks a ton better than you, and you're going to try to put your best foot forward, or vice versa. If you have now, a guy can have found another girl, and his previous girlfriend, if they're at the same event, she's going to make sure that she's looking her best. So I just think that's humanistic. That's a human characteristic, that we show up, and if we are going against someone that we're familiar with, that we're going to make sure that we always put our best foot forward.
I agree. Although
It's easy to show up your brothers when they're Andy and Greg, though. Just showing up shows them up.
Say that one again. I didn't hear you.
It's easy to show up my brothers.
it's not, though. Not when you're you, Steve. Good effort, though. So I think we've covered most of your Patriots career, but you've been doing a ton after football. So like we were, we all kind of went down the rabbit hole of all the different things that you've been doing since football. And it's quite a list. You've written a book. You do athletic and football training. You do keynote speaking. You were on American Ninja Warrior at the age of 47, which I think the three of us will be lucky if we make it to the age of 47, never mind compete at an athletic event. So I think that's really cool. But I couldn't actually find the full episode of that American Ninja Warrior. So I was curious how you actually fared, because it just showed like the beginning, the intro of it, and it didn't actually show you doing the competition. So I was kind of left a cliffhanger. So wondering how that worked out.
Well, you probably have to take that up with the Ninja Warrior company.
Oh, I will write them a letter. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I probably want to write them a letter.
Yeah.
But I made it to the finals.
I would definitely watch
to the finals.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's super. Also, I just wanted to point out when I was watching that video, I was the view number 328, which felt poetic. Because every time I see the number 328 come up, that is just it's attached to the Patriots now with that Falcons comeback.
28-3, baby. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, do you have kind of I guess we kind of asked for questions too from some of our I don't know if they actually listen, but we'll call them listeners. And one of them was, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment this far in your life, be it football or not football?
What was my accomplishment? Crazy accomplishment?
Yeah, your greatest accomplishment so far in your life.
So far in life?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, glad you guys actually said that. So, what I'm about to present, you mentioned some of the things, but one of the things I have, I created my own label, my own company. Worked at Things Supplements. For over 22 plus years, fitness, my body was my business. So, what my daughter and I have created is a company called Work That Thing. And supplements, health products, and apparel. So not saying it is crazy, but it's something that it's a generational thing that, not only does it give her an opportunity to go into, because she's an athlete herself. She runs track, the 400, 200, great little young female athlete. So she is now in entrepreneurship. So she now can build her own image up, and now she can sell and be the face of her own company and actually sell her products to other athletes. Because just like we all go and try to find athletes to promote our products, again, she is the face of her own company, and she can always, people ask her, hey, how do you run so fast? Well, my supplement company, I take my own supplements. So that's a great thing. The other thing is basically, we created our own cross trainers. So, Michael Jordan, well, we have our own shoe as well. So, entrepreneurship. Basically, it's called Work That Thing Cross Trainers. So it's a very unique shoe. This is the first round of shoes. Great cross trainer. And what we also doing with this, we are giving back to the underserved communities. So what we ask people to do, and you guys, there's 3 of you guys can more than welcome. You can go to Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation, and we're asking people to help sponsor the shoes so that we can give them away for free to the underserved communities.
Cool.
I'm doing a lot of stuff in my hometown of LaGrange, Georgia, and actually Atlanta. And what I want to do is go to all the cities that I played in. So we're coming to Boston, Carolina, Indianapolis, and the foundation is basically giving back to the community, giving back to the community. So, so some of the crazy things that, we've done or I've done, life after football, is to help impact people's lives and to, let them know, like I said, I quit football in high school. So to let them know that you still can make it, even though you mess up. And in closing, it comes with your own box that actually I signed it. I signed the box. So this becomes a great trading card because there would never be another pair of Work That Thing shoes, at least not the first original pair. You may get the second, third, fourth, but you would never get the first original pair. It's like the first original pair of Jordans. There would never be another original pair of Jordans.
That is true.
So those are some of the things that me and my kids are doing, and trying to teach them how to have an impact on society. So if you want to call that crazy, then
not at all.
Like Beyonce say, I'm crazy.
Andy, how many pairs have you bought already?
Well, we're definitely going to sponsor one as a podcast. We'll do that so we can
absolutely
get one of these
my own pair
given away to somebody who deserves it.
And also, I appreciate you guys, even with the book. Even with the book, I'm like, it's a great, powerful read. It says ultimate success in the game of life, but really, ultimate success is not about money. Ultimate success is about when you achieve what you set out to do. Even though there were obstacles and opposition and things that tried to hinder you, that's when you have ultimate success. So whether it's in sports, we had ultimate success in winning Super Bowls when other teams were trying to hinder, trying to stop, delay. They could delay us, but could not deny us. So basically, that's what this book is all about. 12 dynamic principles that help you understand how to have ultimate success in your life. And one thing I do know is that life is principles. Life is based off of principles. We all have our different experiences with those principles, but we all gonna go through the same principles, some type of trial, test, or temptation. Okay, we just go through the different experiences. But in this book, I just share some of the things that I overcame, financially in poverty, financial lack of finances, but that didn't stop me. Quit football in high school, that didn't stop me. Went to a HBCU, that didn't stop me. Got traded from Carolina to Indianapolis, that didn't stop me. So in life, you're going to have obstacles. The key is, do you have the right tools to help you overcome those situations and those oppositions? So that's what the purpose of ultimate success in the game of life is. So you guys can check that out as well at TyronePoole38.com. So I always tell people, if you can remember my name, first name, my last name, and my football number, then you got my website.
Yeah, we'll put those in the show notes too.
All right.
So people have it, they can click on it. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, guys.
See, Andy, there's hope for you to do every single game from the Patriots dynasty as an episode. We only have 538 more, whatever it might be.
Yeah, no, we can definitely do this. I feel much more inspired now. So this is great. So all right, we've taken enough of your time, Tyrone. Thank you so much for being here. Boys, did you have any last questions you had for Tyrone before we let him go?
No, I've already asked my stupid question.
Yeah,
Or
me
questions.
too.
All right. Well, Tyrone, thank you so much for being here. This was a pleasure. I really appreciate it. Good luck with all of your stuff you got going on. And do you have any predictions for the Patriots before we let you go this season?
For this season,
Yeah.
Actually, football is one of those games, and I tell people, you got to play it on the field. Roster wise, everybody can look good. I've been a part of teams where, we had talent, but there was no chemistry. And the team, if the Patriots continue to develop that chemistry and continue to bring talent on, of course you need talent to win, but you also got to have that chemistry with the team. So I believe that, Bill is coming down to the end of his, his legacy, and he's been coaching for a long time. I think Bill's like 70-something years old. So I do believe that he wants to, lead the game on top, and he's going to give those guys everything that he can. So I think the Patriots are going to have a real good season, but it's going to be tough because everybody is getting better. Even the Detroit Lions are getting better. So that says a lot about where football has moved into.
That is true. Yeah, they are a bellwether for the NFL and its success. All right, great. Well, thank you again. We really appreciate this. And until next week, we will see you later.
All right.
See you later.
Thank you guys again.
Hey,
Thanks, Tyrone.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.